Alright, so we just finished up building 8 automatic farms in the last episode, including the sugarcane farm, this wood farm, this pumpkin and melon farm, as well as 5 other farms as well. And in this episode, I think we should switch gears just a tad. In the last episode, we started work on some of the aesthetics, but mainly we were focused on all this redstone nonsense in the left, right, and middle of this room. So now I think it's time to switch gears to building and get some serious work done with our mega base. I've already begun work on a stream in between episodes, so if you don't want to miss that, make sure to join. I got a lot of resources for today's episode, as well as built up the tree farm storage, as you can see here. But today we'll be solving another very important problem, as well as working on our mega base, which is of course storage. My storage is filling up. I have shulker boxes upon shulker boxes of stuff just stuffed into these barrels, and this ain't gonna cut it. We're reaching the end game. We're almost at day 1000, and it's about time we build an epic storage system. However, we are going to be doing a lot of building before we build said storage system, so we're definitely going to be focusing on completing some rooms today of our brand new base, which will be, around this entire village inside the mountain. First things first, we definitely need to gather some resources in order to build, because I'm pretty broke. Alright, with some resources collected and some more stuff smelting, let's get started on the very first task we're going to conquer. No, that's right, we're going to conquer it today. I know I just said conquer weird, but it's been a long day. And that first task will be to finish up this kind of overlooking room. I already have the deck area done, but I want to extend the room out a little bit this way and also add a bit of a walking area right here. Yeah, that's looking sweet. Now we gotta start thinking about a wall. I think I'm gonna use a lot of stone bricks, cracked stone bricks, mossy stone bricks, as well as some granite. I came up with this pretty awesome wall design right here. I just gotta replicate it now, down this way, which I've already started to do. And the final step for this room is to turn our attention to the ceiling, where we're going to incorporate some lighting as well. For light sources, I think I want to use redstone lamps, so we're actually have to go to the nether and get some glowstone, because I know for sure we're basically all out. This is quite tedious, because you can't actually reach the block you're placing on. That's why I switched to full blocks. So I have to jump up for every single block just like this, except for when I'm on the deck I can reach it. I think with this, the room is done. And the next thing we're going to do in our mecha base is work on these very currently ugly hallways and hopefully connect it up to this room right here. So the plan is to have this be a hallway, and this will eventually go elsewhere, but right now we have this hallway we already dug out, and I kind of want to wrap it up to this one from this location. And obviously we'll probably have some rooms and stuff coming off the side, but for the most part, for now we'll just build the hallway, and we'll obviously add rooms later as we can fit them in. And if we dig in this direction, we should intersect. Yep, there we go. Now, let's do the same thing, but on the other side. I guess now we need to think of a hallway design, and then once I have a hallway design, we can just obviously replicate it on both sides. You know what? Let's just send it. Alright, both hallways are done. I think this is pretty cool. We incorporated some coloring that's a little bit different than the other terracotta we have kind of in our base. I really love the theme we're going with this whole thing. Next up though, for this area, we just need to connect the hallways to these two staircases as well as the hallway on the other side. And then I want to work on the entrance. Alright, with the floor done, which is obviously probably the simplest part of this whole thing, I'm now going to work on this side of the walls. Alright, we got the walls in place. I did this glazed terracotta pattern, which I kind of like. Alright, so now that this main section of the hallway is done, we're just going to extend it and connect it to this hallway, to the honey farm right here, and then we'll pivot to doing the bridge and entrance into this thing. Yeah, I should probably stop flying around in the cramped rooms. Due to some unforeseen technical issues, certainly exacerbated by the fact this is being recorded 5 months after, you're gonna have to bear with me of some awkward voiceover. Nevertheless though, this is the storage system we're going to build. It consists of a multi-sorter on the back and several bulk loaders in the front for all the automatic farms we ever will need. However, this definitely is going to require a ton of items, as you can see. This is definitely the biggest storage system I've ever personally constructed, and the most complicated one as well. So if you're going to drop a sub for that. Even though, yeah, I guess this video did technically take 5 months to make, but let's forget about that fact for just a little bit while longer. But let's start gathering. Thank God I got an automatic tree farm, because it's basically all wood I need. And all the resources in this hours. I remember this distinctly, even though this was in July and now it's December. Ooh, yeah, we got all of them. So much redstone, and yeah, we can move on to digging that thing out. And after digging the whole area out, it was time to get started. I first started off with the bulk sorters, which is what we're building now, and this is going to hold all of the items that we farm, the pumpkin farm, the melon farm, all that is what we're going to be putting in these chests right here. So we'll build these up first, and then we're going to build the multi-sorting system, which will house all our general items. And with bulk sorters done, it's time to turn our attention to the multi-item sorter part of the building. And next up is the logic portion of the build. Definitely complicated, highly dense, but Schematica will definitely help us out here. Let's get cracking on this portion of the build. Alright, I've made some very good progress, as you guys just saw. So I've actually built up the bulk of the redstone. So this is the system that's basically the item decoder. And this is all we got left. This little very compact thing, as you can see by the schematic. This is what will put the items into the system and will help everything get sorted nicely. As you can see, got all the logic in place. It's kind of a jumbled mess of redstone. This would basically be impossible without Schematica, so thank God I had that. Next up, what we got to do is work on some other stuff. So if we increase this, as you can see, we have to put in all the filters for the bulk sorters as well as an item stream. Oh, that took forever, guys. So first things first, cleared out a bit more of an area up above for the item streams as well as underneath for the redstone. And I also had to do a ton of bug fixing on this thing. It took probably 2 to 3 hours just because I've kept missing little tiny things like, oh, I forgot to put an item in a dropper somewhere. Or, oh, I forgot to put the redstone dust as a dot and not a cross. Stuff like that. But nonetheless, we finished up. And now what we can go ahead and do is put in the item filters for our bulk sorters as well as the item stream up top. The filters and item streams are all in place. Now all that's left is the stuff below. Let's take a look at what we need to build. So first up, let's build the shulker box, unstackable item, and stackable item filter, as well as our item entry points. Alright, so the thing that sorts regular items, unstackable items, as well as shulker boxes now have 3 different sections to go off in the places. So let's get going on the first one, which is the shulker boxes. That's going to go off to a shulker box filter system, which I'll explain in a second. First, we got to run it up an item elevator though. Alright, so the shulker box filter is done. What this will do is send full shulker boxes over that way, and any partially filled or empty ones will go to a shulker box unloader, which will be right here, and they have to go up a small item elevator to get there. Nonetheless though, this system works perfectly, just tested it out. So now, what we gotta do is work on the shulker box unloader. And here's the unloader, very simple, probably the simplest of all of them. All the items will end up in this barrel, which we'll put into a hopper line and basically just send off into this one, which is where the normal items go, and then all the empty shulker boxes go this way. The only difference we'll have to add from this line to this line is we will have to add an unstackable item filter somewhere along here in order to add to this line right here, and that's just because we can't put unstackable items into that storage system up top. All of the different item elevators are in place. Now all you gotta do is place a ton of composters on top of the hoppers because that reduces lag. So once we do that, the storage system's, yeah, the redstone's done after many hours. And it's all done. We can finally go into Schematica and remove the placement. Holy crap, guys, it took so long. I'm gonna do a little bit of testing, make sure like the shulker box unloader and stuff works. I don't think why it wouldn't, but just double check all that stuff and yeah, we'll be totally done. actually the last thing is just putting in the filters for the items we have now. I'm missing some, like I don't have wheat on me, and we don't even have a wheat farm yet anyways, so I'm just gonna put like 5 filters across like that for those, but the other ones we're just gonna fill in. So when we do end up putting our items in here, everything works. 1 2-hour live stream later, we planned out and keyed in all of the items we currently have. We definitely missed a couple, but we can go back afterwards from our overflow and fill those in. Nevertheless, we're now filtering in most of our items. I'm going to keep an eye on this, but we still have a lot of work to do before we can be done with this episode, namely decoration. We got to decorate this whole thing. I don't really know what we're going to do, and we don't have any wood right now, so we kind of got to like improvise, but I think we'll do a deep slate floor-ish thing around trim. I don't really know. We'll play it by ear. But all our items are slowly starting to filter in. It's looking glorious. The floor is basically done. I'm gonna put in some kind of lighting here. Probably like something like sea lanterns or something. I'll probably put in street lights temporarily, just so we don't have torches in the ground. Next up, I want to work on the ceiling of this section, and then we'll obviously move over to this section in the entrance, but I have to wait for my deep slate to sort, and currently we only have a stack of polished stairs in there, so we gotta wait for all the items to get to the backlog and into our system. But so far the system is working great, no errors really at all. Yeah, it's working awesomely. This thing is finally finished, and this is being recorded 5 months after the fact. I apologize for lost footage. I don't even remember what happened to that at this point. To be honest, college hit me like a truck this semester. I was super busy between friends, cross country, senior year, fall, with all senior design stuff since I'm an engineering major. It was crazy. I really just did not have time to play any Minecraft whatsoever. However, winter's looking promising. I don't really have too many plans lined up. I'm hoping to get a couple of videos out, and we'll see about the spring. I'm looking like it's gonna be a little less busy, but we'll see. I know I can't make promises in school. I've learned that lesson many times. But I'll let you guys know as soon as I know. But for now, have an easygoing day and a happy holiday. Though I hope to see you before Christmas.